to the machines, but the more he delays it, the harder it is going to be to catch up to Sumail. But
oh god, 3-0
got
eliminate bottom. Well, Keeper Light, he used to be king of the try-on-try lane. Like, I go back to the TI3 era where it was a little bit more passive in the laning stage. Alliance really mastered stacking heavily. They'd let Bulldog come and clear the camps just to rush his Midas as an offlane prophet. But he could also, Keeper Light could also fare really well in aggressive 3-on-3 tri lanes where you're fighting, just because you had a good Illuminate. You've done an insane amount of damage, and so far, working out quite well for them.
And they're able to get pulls off as well, so any last hits that Black's trying for here gets a few of them, but definitely wants to get as many of those lane creeps as he can.
Oh, Universe threatening for a kill top. Ice dropping very low to the caustic damage. As the Burrow ready, catches him mid-chain, scores the solo kill. And when you're running this aggro tri lane, you're doing it specifically so you get that 1v1, you bank on Ice to win it, and for him to give up a kill like that is devastating.
Like, yeah, there's so many items ready to go for Universe now. Just Caustic Finale, man, it's such a great skill in 1v1s, especially against a melee hero. And even though Ice was getting a lot of regen from reactive armor, it only does so much for his survivability. So.
I mean, do they have to send a support top? Do you kind of have to give up on shutting down the AM and go focus on the Sand Cane? Is it too late? What do you do?
They are pressuring Anti-Mage really well right now, and I think Weaver is a good solution. They need to get a kill soon, and that's what they have to do. Warlock does have level 2 and an invis, but there's a sentry here. It's going to spot him.
Arteezy, there's a lift. Potentially, XY is going to come in to go, and now they nuke him, but I'll just blink away with the Fatal Bonds and be absolutely fine. So
a very late reaction there by Nuts. I think he was hoping that he could get out of the sentry range, but he just got hit so many times. He just got back, and now he's already out of mana and missing a lot of HP too.
Meanwhile, Universe and Ice is duking out. The good news for Ice, I guess, is he's at least got some mana to work with now. Universe going to burrow away, has the epicenter. Go back for the Iron Talon so can do a spot of jungling as need be. So they continue to apply this pressure in the bottom lane. Black getting forced out, and it seems like the sustain of EG is just prevailing here.
Yeah, it's IO really. I mean, any regen that crit gets on the IO, it's going to go towards Arteezy as well. If he gets a bottle refill additionally, then even more regen for Arteezy. And with the fast ring of health in lane, he's doing just fine here. So they've got to get some kills soon. Otherwise, this is going to fall flat, especially with Ice farming worse than Sand.
Meanwhile, mid, just see Universe moving in. They can Astral into an epicenter. I'm not sure if he was spotted by that creep walking down, but gonna back away. Hanging quite far. Oh, actually does get scouted, skirting the tree line and swinging around just for a moment if Jabs was watching closely.
Yeah, night vision's a little deceptively farther than you might think it is, so he does end up going back top. In some ways it was good he got spotted because now Jabs is sitting really far back fearing the gank. And as soon as it shows top now, Jabs can go back to farming in a safe way.
So you've lost all 3 lanes. Sand Cane solo kills your safe lane solo. They're free farming on their AM at this point. OD's winning mid. Like, it looks pretty damn bad for Faceless, Kevin. They're already down 1,500 gold, 750 experience. What's the comeback mechanic here?
It's a lot, but most of that is on the support. So it does look really bad, but it's not as bad as I think it is. If you just look at the net worth, for example, every single hero that's doing well on EG is close to being matched by Faceless heroes. So first couple team fights and gank rotations are really where things matter.
All right, let's see if they find something. Zai bottom lane gets clipped by the swarm. XY there with the toss back. They'll find the kill. They also stun Arteezy. He used the blink offensively, but with no swarm on him, should be okay. Dropping low, but has the poor man shield, has the regen. He'll be fine. Meanwhile, mid lane, Jab's getting run down. Will be finished off while that was happening. The Tinker blown up with Crit and Sumail combining. And now moving after deploying 1 Observer Ward. They want to scout out these Tinker stacks, it looks like. This is going to be planting down another ward momentarily.
Black hitting Arteezy pretty low. Sand King comes though, and it's going to be close. Okay, no level 6 for Anti-Mage yet, so going to be just fine. But very low on HP now, which means laning again is going to get a little hard. I'm sure he wishes the Warlock was still there.
Yeah, Nuts going for some stacking. This is scouted by that Obs.
Tried to go for the double stack. Only got 1, but still pretty good. Definitely will help Tinker in a moment, especially with his level 6 here.
I could easily see EG coming to either steal these, you've got Sand King, keep it light, or maybe even just take a fight there.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. It might be a little too early, especially if Jabs rotates over at any moment in the next minute. Ice is also getting levels and experience on his lane free farm, so...
Yeah, Universe has been moving a lot, and as a result, in fact, still moving under cover of smoke now. He wants to find a kill mid and slow down jabs, but as a result, Ice is getting that much needed free time.
He's got a great roaming build though. With the Tranquil Boots, he runs really fast right now, so just has to get within Burrow Strike range, and that should be a kill.
Could go for an Astral here to set up, and they will do so. Universe, is he going to Epicenter his way into this? No, he's going to Burrow Strike to start. They combo him down. They will commit the Epicenter.
Farming Epicenter.
Hugely needed, but he got those creeps.
Yeah, and actually that's not the worst thing ever. The creeps are on tower now. That means the tower's going to take a good 300, 400 points of damage. Oh, but instead there's going to be a fight bot rune.
Well, they want XY. Arteezy has that extra bit of move speed. Out comes the Swarm. XY looking for the Roshan deny. Not going to happen, says Arteezy. Another ultimate usage there, but a smart one to secure the kill. And G, make it 4-1. A lot of movement, a lot of pressure, but all of these things resulting in direct numerical advantage as they continue to amplify their gold and experience lead.
Yeah, I really like that they went for that one. Just a small mistake by the Rubik thinking, hey, oh, might see his eye kill here. He's so low.
Ice really needs to get something going, trying for the juke. Gandalf putting on his Nikes. Could he possibly get out of here? Not one more auto tech. Look at the kill. Does buy some time for Crit to get in the lane. He's going to tether his way forward. It's a little bit of damage to Ice trying to bait him in, really. But Ice with the Chakram chaining through. Crit then quickly able to stick up. Look for the turnaround. Still no backup. Ice. He's not done with this one yet. He's going to Soul Ring. Look for the jump forward. He will connect on Crit mid-tether. Chakram, that won't hit. They're bringing him low, courtesy of the Fatal Bonds. Can they finish him off? The Chakra pullback gets the job done. Off with your head, he says, though. I'm not really sure Io has one, but he's dead anyway.
That was true Ice right there. I knew he was diving as soon as the Io baited him like that.
He's like, you want to outplay me? I'm going to outplay you.
But EG is one of the worst teams to try that against because they are also so individually skilled. I honestly didn't know if he was going to be able to catch Io with that last Timber Chain, but he gets them, and great movement there by moving his hero with the Chakram and pulling it on a different direction.
Well, tower mid does get denied. XY and Jabs combining for that, but at the same time, Tinker getting his tower pushed down this early with the March build. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, it's a bad place to be, and he can go to the jungle, but now it's even harder to defend the jungle if he gets ganked there.
That's a really good point.
Enemy heroes aren't going to be super behind enemy lines, like where that Radiant Ward is in the Dire jungle. They can fight in that area, and they're not really that unsafe in comparison to what it would have been otherwise.
And there was no trade of any kind. Arteezy, all three cores of EG still free farming. After that momentary ganking moment, Universe is caught right back up, actually dead even with the Timbersaw once again, and Blink is coming soon, Kevin, so got to imagine with that, the impending relocate for Crit, already level 5 3/4, roughly. They're gonna be looking to make moves around the map.
Yeah, that one's gonna be really dangerous too, because that means all they have to do is take Sand King and put him somewhere within Blink epicenter range, and then the relocate will always come on top of that. Start the relocate, bring in the epicenter, and you're going to have a dead hero, and that's going to be Tinker, that's going to be Weaver, that's pretty much everybody on Faceless except for Timbersaw, who's usually quite tanky, so it's looking pretty scary for them. The rotations
Universe has the blink, waiting in the trees. He can't kill Ice, I don't think, solo, but actually maybe with the Caustics he has a chance that he's going for it. Jumping in, looking for the combo play, it's onto Nuts directly, gets him with the Caustic, a little bit of extra damage, but the heal comes through, the turnaround might be there with the Rock, they brought in Arteezy, he's low, not dead yet though. They commit the Golem, and they will lose the Warlock. Ice still surviving, jumping deeper once Crit gets him with the Chakram at the final hour, but in turn will pay his Universe. Will follow a Bloodbath top, a 2 for 2, the blink revealed, and now they chase for Sumail, but he's pretty far away. Poke him, but they can't really prod him down.
I almost guarantee Black said, get out of here, when he attacked him that one time, just now. There's pretty much no other purpose. It was a great turn, though, by Faceless. The Golem bought them some time. I think Ice was definitely justified going for the IO trade there to guarantee that kill, and Black cleaning up the Sand King afterwards. That was not bad for them, considering that their cores are getting out-farmed. If they don't have at least equal trades here, they're going to get massively behind in gold as well as experience.
And when you're behind like this, a 2 for 2 trade is actually a win on the as far as the raw numbers go. And then on top of that, they do get the tower. Nicely done. Ice now moving on to bottom, pressuring Arteezy pretty heavily. A lot of nuke damage, but he gets caught mid-chain. It is a level 4 chain, though. They need to get that Curve the Light Monolith. Actually haven't skilled it for Zai at all, which means their ability to control Ice is a bit limited here. So he can play a lot more aggressively. You know, it's something the analysts talked a lot about, how good Monolith is this game, but Kevin, he has yet to take a single point in it.
Ooh, but with Sumail showing up, things get a little bit harder. He thought he could fight this, but he's really low.
Oh, God.
He dropped his items to pop another Soul Ring because he expected needing some min-max here, but it absolutely cost him. I think he was probably dead anyways, but sometimes Ice goes a little too far, and that was one of those moments.
There's a little space created for the Tinker. Jabs has grabbed his BOTs. At the same time, though, Arteezy still farming very well. He is going to go for the full greed build here, going Battle Fury, probably Vlad's. Like, be a casual headdress. We'll see for sure later, but
yeah, he got pressured so much that sometimes they just buy it in the laning stage because you need the extra regen here. He's going to put some pressure on Black. Bug's going down. This is dangerous for Black. He's going to have to time-lapse here or he's dead.
Doesn't have the mana for it. Pops the stick. Black not able to get away. They didn't even have detection. Could have time-lapsed and then just Sakuchi'd out, but tried to play a little greedy.
Huge mistake there, because as soon as he revealed himself after using Sakuchi, he had a good 5 seconds till his next invis, and 2 hits from AM, and he's already down to the point of no return, where if he goes below 150, he's out of mana. If he casted it, though, he would have gotten his mana back and possibly survived. But
you know, the one thing is maybe he didn't expect Arteezy to have the second point in mana break, because a lot of AMs will just take the 1 and then get more stats, but then again, he was laning against him, so he may have already noticed. Either way, XY moving on bottom, tries to find Zai here, catches the Keeper Light behind the tower, and then able to steal the Illuminate, which he uses against him. Could he get up another Zap Fate? Oh, just barely tasers Gandalf down. Gives him a little zap in the tush, and we'll get the kill. But EG, meanwhile, they're making the trades. They push in top. Arteezy closing on that Battle Fury. Oh, by the way, there is an OD in this game. We haven't talked much about him, but I think that's a bad thing for Faceless, because Kevin, he is the most farmed hero in the game again.
That's Sumail, man. And he didn't go too many farming items, just opting for the really fast Force Staff and Dragonlance. It'll be great for fights. But I see some glimmer of hope here for Faceless, and it's definitely more than a glimmer. Just Ice having a pretty good start. He's died a couple times, but his farm level is all right. XY getting that solo kill jumped him heavily towards Blink Dagger. He's at 1500 himself. And if he can get some good steals here, like Burrow Strike from Sand King, or the Banish from Our Devour, or even the Blink from Anti-Mage, he's going to be online in a really strong way.
TZ jumping in very aggressively onto jabs, but does get lasered for his trouble. Now the TP rotation. Timbersaw going to come in. Crit very low. Has almost no regen left, no bottle charges, only 1 stick charge. They have fully invaded the jungle, and with Universe here, they might be looking for Go. Nuts doesn't know about it, but EG, they see him first. They get the Blink Burrow, Arteezy the last hit, and that basically gives him the Battle Fury. Despite all the pressure, the aggro tri-lane, he's got casual headdress, treads, poor man shield, and Battle Fury only about 400 gold away. This is a pretty fast pace for the AM.
Yeah, he's in a great spot. Pretty moderate mistake by Warlock, though, I'd say, especially with Anti-Mage blinking that aggressively to harass the Tinker in the first place. Crit's pretty
for the TP
here.
out. Sakuchi, oh, the auto-tech not in time. Now Arteezy can go into Black. Time-lapse unavailable as he gets stunned. Focus, Mana Void, he's dead again. Another big pick. EG, continue to punish Black. These deaths he can ill afford. He's now starting to really slip behind in net worth.
Yeah, I mean, you don't... he almost got the IO. He was incredibly close, but that's 2 deaths now that he's had just because of his mistakes being aggressive, and those are just unacceptable as a hard carry.
And now Nuts, well, he wants the D-Ward. EG, they're still here. They have not gone home. He drops the rock. Feels almost desperate. They at least got to get this crit kill. He's able to get Force Staffed away. Sumail there with the save, and now looking for the turn. They will manage to steal Burrow Strike. Now this could be big, Kevin. The best spell in the game for Rubik to steal. Very low cooldown, extremely long duration stun with mobility, and he's now got a blink.
Yeah, another kill for himself. So
can XY play the carry? Because it seems like he might need to.
He's doing well this game. I have some faith in him here, especially if they can get Sumail. God, that would be good. 2 seconds to disable the lift. Another 2 seconds from the Burrow Strike. He's close.
Sumail, he knows. XY, he burrows in. He's got real nervous there. Even if they catch him, that might have just been too far to dive anyway.
Yeah, he would have had to use Burrow into lift to pull him back, so just for the mobility aspect. But the longer he has this, the more dangerous it is for EG, especially for squishy heroes like Coddle as well as Io. If there's any other hero that does damage, the amount of disable he has guarantees a kill every time.
TZ mowing down that tower bottom and just blinking away. Back to the woods he'll go. 1,000 gold, so we'll see next pickup for him. Does he go straight into the Manta or not? Soon we'll find out. Black,
I'm scared
engaging onto Arteezy. Last few times we've seen this, it hasn't ended well, but Arteezy doesn't really know what's behind the Weaver, lacking the vision, so he'll back off.
Would have been great for Black if he ran into Keeper Light. That could have been a kill, definitely, but no such luck for him. He's gonna, or at least Ice is gonna push out the bot lane. Black rotating back mid, definitely farming much slower than his opponents right now, just a natural feature of Weaver, but also because whenever he rotates, sometimes he dies, so gotta be careful. At least Jabs is caught up finally with the rest of his team, but we're clearly seeing some separation in terms of farm, similar to the last game.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the big cores of EG, the OD and the anti-mage, they are combined 4-0 and 8. They've yet to die. And they've been, on top of that, topping the CS chart, so getting a lot of farm. But here comes a big item for Faceless. Bloodstone now picked up. They're going to make their move towards the bottom lane, hoping for a Zai kill.
It's a great item, and it's also a dangerous item this game because it increases his total mana pool. So
that gap closing potential with a big blink into a burrow. Faceless and one, they also force a TP reaction out. Very nicely done by them.
That's just so dirty. That's like...
Good news for them is the spell's going to disappear soon. It's only a level 1 spell steal.
It's 500 damage, 5 seconds of stun, or about 4 seconds of stun. Really strong.
And for Universe, he does have that value point in Sandstorm, so now he can potentially just prevent Rubik from stealing the burrow.
Yeah. Again, there's still great things to steal. Blink on Anti-Mage could be useful. Help him catch heroes more often, and for the first time in a while, in multiple games, that is Faceless finally putting some pressure when EG can't also
Universe
get something out of it.
wants to fight this, though. There is no glyph available any longer. It's like they're going to let it go. If they go tier 2, he's definitely jumping in.
Especially if they group up a little bit. He's got to be careful. They have to be at least a little spread.
You can see Faceless are expecting that backstab as they did scan their own jungle. And they're not going to commit too much further to mid, just black sticking around.
Kind of an interesting item build. He goes for Dragonlance here. I don't know. It's a pretty good Linken's game, really. Just due to things like Mana Void, Burrow Strike would be great to stop. Even Astral can also be really problematic sometimes, but I think he might just have to go for items that are more efficient like this, just because he's behind. He's got to get as much value as he can right now so he wins team fights, and that gets him back into the game. But as a whole, Faceless is actually farming decently well now. They've got 3 cores that just passed the Sand King, whereas before Sand King was ahead of most of them. So it's going to be the projection they want.
TZ starting to take over the jungle and trying to win that passive farm battle. Did go for the Yasha. So Manta coming soon. Meanwhile, Ice getting wrapped on. Now remember, they have a relocate, so this is a 4-hero gank if they want to bring in Sumail. And they might find Ice momentarily. TP comes in, it's about to be 5. Kane's back, but if he goes too far, he's going to walk in. Zai TPing away to top. So they're not going to go for Ice.
Kind of
Again, Vision's an issue, Kevin. They don't see anything really all the way back until that lane ward. That's quite far away, and no idea if anyone came up the ramp through the jungle.
Yeah, and Faceless also doing a small smoke just with the 2 supports and through the jungle. Be a little unlikely to succeed since they need some kind of damage, and maybe Rubik could steal something, but kind of scary there.
Still invis with the smoke now revealed. Don't actually have vision. They do grab an additional blink here. Sumail picking his up, so some really long-range gap closing for EG.
Now it all comes down to reactions. Who stuns who first? Can Rubik blink dodge something? Or Radiant Scan being used. It's going to spot Black rotating up, but will they expect the whole team? Ooh, very close. Jab's almost dying.
Do summon the Tinker to hold the line in EG. Not wanting to push into the... I mean, this is dirty. Fate Bolt and March. Yeah. A lot of deep push for Faceless. Even the Chakram.
Yeah, but both teams have really good vision right now. XY placed an Observer Ward a little deep here, and EG with another ward very close to the enemy tower in an unpredictable place. So it's going to be hard for the fights to start like that when both teams expect where their opponents are.
I think you made a good point that Faceless are, doing a good job of stemming the bleeding. Yeah, they're down about 4k gold, but it's not getting worse for now. EG are pulling a little ahead in terms of experience, but time being, they don't forfeit these tier 2s. They still have some ability to project force around the map, and they haven't found that big, decisive fight to let them completely seize momentum.
And they're getting to a better place, too, for fights. And point booster on Rubik, the faster that Tinker gets his Ags can change a lot as well, just because it'll increase the amount of AoE damage he does, and then it just comes down to Nuts being able to cast a good Fatal Bonds. I'm almost even thinking about him getting an Aether Lens this game, just because if he lands a good Fatal Bonds, every single rocket spam that comes out just ends the game. So they just kind of need vision and a good Fatal Bonds, and Tinker should be able to clean up after that.
The pin comes out. Maybe Universe got a glimpse of Black there, not sure, but Black gonna Deep away now to 2,600 gold. Are you expecting just the Desolator at this point? Do you think there's anything else you could go for?
It worked
You
very
mentioned
well
the
first
Lincolns,
game, that's
but
for sure.
he's not buying components yet.
Yeah, that's a great point. He does have some coverage, I guess, with Warlock heal, but Lincolns is a safer move. But this game, I kind of just need
Oh
damage.
no! Ice caught out bottom. He tries to chain away. The Mana Leak instantly stuns him. He's out of mana entirely. Oh god! And then gets blasted back again. But he is still tanky. Crit trying to give pursuit here. Now Tinker coming in. We could have a big rumble in the jungle momentarily. Keep in mind, Anti-Mage also has a TP with a freshly completed Manta. They still have Epicenter, and EG, speaking of deep push, they've got a lot of their own with the Keeper of the Light. They're not going to give this tower up for free. Do Faceless dare to contest?
Sumail doesn't have a TP here, so because he relocated back top, Faceless could try to take a fight bottom, but much like it was difficult for EG to take their tower, they're going to have to deal with Keeper of the Light Blast that's going to nuke the waves down, so...
TZ kind of thinking about a move in here. He's going to be scouted by a Warlock illusion. I think they're going to BOT back now to the bottom lane. Continue their jungle invasion.
I mean, their Faceless is holding the line kind of right now, but every moment that nothing happens in terms of tower deaths or ganks, that there's Anti-Mage somewhere just getting insane farm, and that's what's happening. He's completely pulling ahead right now. And if this continues for 10 more minutes or something, they're not even going to be able to kill RTZ.
I mean, how do they even, like now even to kill him, they have to lift, they probably need a Stolen Burrow, they have to drop the rock, probably Fatal Bonds, and for sure, the Timber Saw has to be there for all the pure damage.
Absolutely.
It's already hard, Kevin.
It is, but they have to get something going, and it's all going to take vision, and that's what they're getting a hold of at least a little bit. Great ward on the cliff, one in the mid lane. Maybe they can spot some rotations, but they almost need to ward their own side of the map. That's
Alright, they're going to see him. This is like the dream scenario to kill up Arteezy in the mid lane. They try to lock him down. He still blinks away, and it's to the north.
They got vision.
They chase, though, with the bugs. The chakram coming through. Chain connects. Faceless, a desperately needed kill to stem the tide, and with that, Deso complete. Bloodstone charges for Ice. The graph finally takes a noticeable dip downwards.
It's a great gank. The big fixture that really secured that was the Stolen Blink for Rubik, so he could chase, and especially the Weaver bugs, they knew exactly where his hero went as soon as he blinked away, because half the time you blink into trees or you blink up a cliff, you don't know where the guy went because he spins in his animation, but that kill was huge for them. 497 gold just for the kill, and I'm sure that gold was split a bit due to AoE.
Oh, Faceless staying to Roche, and courtesy of the bugs and the Deso, they take this quite quickly. Who do you imagine they give it to here? Ice
is a decent target, but Black also skips survivability items. Maybe they put it on him instead. It looks like it's going to be Ice based on their positioning.
Meanwhile, EG trying to pressure bottom while this Roche happens. They do use the relocate crit. Will he get blown up in time? Push back and forth, explodes right as he's about to relocate out, and that means Sumail left on an island for now. He was Glimmer Cape. They dropped the rock, but he's able to skirt past it. Instead, Zai going to take the bullet for the team. The support's down. The Anti-Mage only now respawning. Sumail, though, will TP away, and Universe already out of there.
Faceless getting some stuff done. I mean,
don't call it a comeback just yet, it's starting to be one.
They got 2 support kills. They wasted the rock trying to catch an OD. A little unfortunate for them, but
they also got Roshan.
But they also got Roshan and an Aegis. So even though that fight didn't go amazing, it went very well, and it could just allow the next fight to go well now that they have Aegis on Weaver. So it's looking pretty good.
Bloodstone charges starting to ramp up. Ice getting a blink, so they're chasing potential in the AM. Does improve. Here comes Jabs TPing onto this top tower. Arteezy's going to try to hunt him in the trees. He eats through one. He has the Basher now. Jabs has to be careful. One more blink forward. Oh, just in time. Makes it out of there.
It's going to look for it. Doesn't actually spot them, but...
Arteezy, though, starting to flex his muscles, and Faceless really do have to be careful not to give him a free kill on this Tinker.
Yeah, once you get a Basher, it's just really straightforward, especially if you use Manta to remove the laser. You've got a Tinker kill once you get one Bash. Just got to stop the rearm or the TP out, and dead one. Although he's got Ags, I guess, so if the Manta is used too early, he can blind.
Universe trying to farm his own woods. Could get punished here as Black moves in. Ice jumping forward as well. They're going to commit the Chakram for this. Now the Yules follow-up coming through. Rockets onto crit, dropping him a bit lower. Now the Glimmer back, and Faceless ramping up the offense in the EG jungle. And it's up to Arteezy to relieve that pressure as he split pushes top. Mantas, and with that Manta on cooldown, will jump away. Ice. Man, that can really bring the pain, forcing him back.
Yeah, it's so good at killing the anti-mage illusions. Normally very resistant to damage, but pure damage cuts right through, and isn't going to be until AM picks up something like a heart that Timbersaw becomes worse against it. I really feel like Ice could
Speaking
carry
of which,
this game.
he goes for the Vitality booster, so not Not sure yet if it's going to be a heart or just completing the full Abyssal straight away, but... I mean, honestly, he's only taken the 1 point in Spell Shield. He just got his second. And I think it speaks to they do have a lot of pure damage here between the Fatal Bonds.
They really do. I mean,
and the Timber Saw. You're just dishing out insane amounts.
a lot of it could definitely be things like March the Machine and Rocket Spam, though. It's something he'll have to be concerned about. It will be the Fast Abyssal. Great choice just because it helps him solo kill heroes like Tinker. If he does blink on top of them, he doesn't even have to get lucky with a bash. He's just, you're stunned, I'm going to kill you, and I'm usually going to mana void to finish you off.
So XY, meanwhile, has stolen Astral, almost has an Aghanims complete.
It's had a great game from a support perspective. Great Ag step as well. He can steal spells more rapidly. They sometimes have extra benefit. Sand King Bro Strike, for example, Ag's benefit. Anything else? That's about it, I guess.
OD ulti.
OD ulti. You're
dream.
so right. Can banish the whole enemy team and do damage afterwards.
Oh man, I remember, I think I cast like a 90-minute game where we theorized a lot about that, but hold that thought, because mid lane, they're moving on to Sumail. He has the BKB, they're going to force out the 10-second charge, and now they want the disengage. Arteezy still pushing top. Universe bottom do get out with Black. They do pop the Aegis, but that BKB is down now, and Ice on the hunt. He's going to find one, make it two. They go splat. EG getting a little bit overconfident. They blow their BKB. The relocate wasn't available in that fight, it looked like.
He also got killed really fast.
And he died real damn fast.
Once Ice went high ground, the Whirling Death just reduced his total HP, and another huge kill, and that was a BKB charge, and all they traded for that was an Aegis.
And he can't buy back, Kevin. Faceless can threaten high ground here.
Black can definitely ping the building a little, but he's going to go for the initiation.
Big jump forward by Ice. A quick little zap from XY. Does have the Astral follow-up, but TZ cut the wave mid earlier, so they don't really have many creeps to work with. Ice also almost out of mana. Still sticking around.
Yeah, they're going to have to back in a moment here. The backdoor protection will kick in, and that's it for their push. Very nice play by Arteezy, and that's really the big threat of Anti-Mage. It seems so small right now. Just nothing happening. Arteezy not really killing heroes, just farming. But this is the effect. That should have maybe been a building down to 50% or lower.
He really wants to go on Ice.
And that's the next stage. Pretty soon he's going to start killing people by himself.
But the whole team streaming in, they're going to get here. Arteezy dealing with the shotgun for now. The relocate comes through, they connect on the burrow, but little do they know a massive array of backup is coming in. They have the rock ready. They kill Ice, but now they need to get out. He suicides, and Arteezy scrambles away. Crit to the south, Arteezy to the north and to the east. Into the trees he goes, he blinks back, and they will successfully assassinate the Timbersaw and live to tell the tale.
Sort of. He ended up using his Bloodstone before that. He was moments away from getting Anti-Mage ulted, so good choice by him. I do like that he was a little aggressive there, trying to set it up for his team. So loses some Bloodstone charges, maybe some gold, but looks like he maybe bought out before that too. So still looking pretty good for Faceless. Their farm levels are looking solid. They've got 3 heroes that are pushing into core levels. EG is only going to have a 2-core lineup this game, and doesn't look like Sumail's going to be able to solo carry this one, like usual.
All right, Rubik Eggs. Now it's the 2-second spell steal.
That's so fast. Potential is so limitless with this. It's really amazing. Cast a spell, steal somebody's spell, cast that spell, steal another spell.
But you have to be like the character in that movie and react as quickly and decisively to make it work, because he is still fairly frail and squishy. His eye's going to move in onto Jabs, tries to focus him down. They don't have their Anti-Mage for this fight. Put the light down early, and into the trees goes Sumail. They recognize if he's moving in like that, there must have been backup, and Ice gonna find a huge catch, but XY also gets picked up at the same time. Nuts, thinking about the rock drop, hanging on to it. Sumail gonna blink and tries to get away. Arteezy starting to corral Ice, moves into position, has the no more mana void. He already used on the Rubik, but they relocate and they end up taking a 2-for-1.
I thought that they were gonna commit to the OD kill there, but Timbersaw doing the right thing and getting out. Tons of backup from EG with that one. They're
just so damn mobile with the recall, the relocate, 2 mobility items on Sand King.
I felt like he was by himself, but all of a sudden everybody's there, and Timbersaw is dying easy.
Those dots converge rather quickly.
Nope. Weaver a little bit in trouble mid. He's got a BKB if things get really scary. He might have to time-lapse. Yeah, he's going to have to. He easily would have died if he didn't time-lapse there. He didn't want a BKB. I think that was a pretty safe move, but he's going to be off the map for about 30 seconds as he heals.
Oh, top lane. Ice starting to get to work on Arteezy. Not going to do much more than force him back.
Now, what do you think Tinker's going to get now? Normally we see Aether Lens with Ags, but there's so much
AM,
mobility,
though.
I don't think you need it. Like, why not get...
Straight Hex, I would say, is still pretty viable against AM.
Yeah, I think so too, because it actually gives them a way to guarantee kill AM if they catch him.
For EG, there's really no sign of a Lotus Orb universe, buying the Yule's recipe for now. So they don't have a... I guess their best Hex solution is just going to be relocate.
Yeah, probably true. Force Staff, I guess, on OD
That's
would work,
true.
but considering how solo Anti-Mage has been playing, if they get some wards in good places and some of his movements, the Hex could be instrumental.
I mean, I feel like they already have plenty of deep push, so I don't see him needing a Shiva's Guard. He's still going to drive fast to the Mana Void, even with the Shivas anyway.
Yeah.
And I would agree, I'm not sure about Aether Lens at this point.
Maybe not Ghost Scepter. It's kind of slot expensive for now. It's a lot of options. He doesn't quite have the money anyways.
And then your Mana Void can really hurt.
They're about to take a fight here. They spot crit. Ice Ice reveal the smoke too.
Moving on to the IO, but Arteezy there in reserve. They're going to lift him. Can they follow this up? Good nuke damage, but do they have the range on Nuts to get in position and finish him off with the rock? Not going to happen. Crit away to the south, but Black is there pumping in the Desolate damage. We'll find the kill. Arteezy, though, away towards mid, and meanwhile, Universe pushing out bottom. So EG, more and more, starting to play the game of rats.
Well, on the bright side, at least, they can pull Arteezy to his jungle to safely continue farming, so his net worth isn't going to be impacted too much from that. Just another death on the IO. Definitely significant, though. He's got Ghost Scepter for survivability, but there's so many nukes on Faceless, and you're really seeing just how dangerous Ice Ice is on this hero once he gets a Blink Dagger. Just jumps on people and blows them up if they don't have an instant stun, and that's really what EG is lacking.
Oh, this poor Tinker. Little does he know the trap they've laid for him. Got the Hill Ward down bottom. Wouldn't be surprised to see one top later.
They're moving in, though.
And you've got to relocate or recall potentially, but they are going to see Arteezy. Ice Ice comes in. Does he know that this is a full trap? XY's there as well. They're going to lock him down, hold him in position, drop him low. Epicenter coming through, and the whole EG team about to arrive. They get the kill. He drops the Mana Void in his death throes, and now the rock comes down a bit later. Crit with the Ghost Scepter trying to survive, but the Sakuchi finishes him off. EG on the run. Sumail already committed the BKB, and looks like he should be able to make it out, but they finally have done it. They've slain the beast for the first time, and God, it must have been 15 minutes since he last died.
Yeah, it's just the Epicenter came just a fraction too late. If Timber didn't get that full combo off on the AM before he got stunned, and the Burrow Strike I think even missed if I'm not mistaken. Timber was able to do his full combo, AM gets killed because all of the pure damage, and another great fight for Faceless. Every time AM dies, it gives them a lot of swing back in their favor, and because they have more heroes to profit from it, and more item slots on those heroes, they will eventually outcarry EG if they don't get split pushed to death.
Do you feel like EG should be playing this differently? They've been mostly... We'll see the fight again here, as Arteezy does get caught. Universe kind of waiting. XY gets off the lift. The Epicenter comes through. But yeah, the Burrow completely whiffs. And with that, Arteezy dropping the Mana Void almost kills Black. He time-lapses it off, and at that point, it's already a lost fight. Also, Sumail did not have his ultimate until he was TPing out, so they didn't have the OD ult to work with there.
Yeah, pretty big mistake there with the Burrow Strike miss, but sometimes you just make little mistakes like that, and it costs you your carry. I guess they could play this a little differently, maybe go for more offensive kills, but it takes a lot of focus for them to kill Timbersaw. It's going to take minimum an OD or an Anti-Mage. The other heroes don't have the damage for high HP single target heroes.
All right, the 35-minute Midas.
What?
Nuts.
Okay.
Nuts is going for late game. I mean, if it goes ultra late,
it's okay.
I think Faceless are in pretty good shape at that point.
Yeah, I think so too. And Warlock's definitely a hero that doesn't need a whole lot of items. Just with Tranquil Boots here, he's fast. He's got enough regen with Urn. And the Midas is more just to give him levels because, you know, he gets so many stats per level, he might as well just level up a bunch and make his golem better and guarantee himself an item.
Oh, Arteezy just blinked forward. This could be the setup. They do have an IO behind him. They're going to start off with the rocket. They go for the banish follow-up, trying to prep for the whole team to get in position. Now they can lift. Arteezy is getting lifted. Even though he manted, they have to relocate him out. That should mean a free IO kill, but look who's coming to try and potentially counter-gank. It's Universe. He's rather far back. Could be the tether target out. We'll have to see if they even converge. They are going to make their move onto Crit, slowing him down and focusing him down. Black grabbed that Diffusal Blade, so has a counter for the Ghost Scepter now.
Okay, pretty good pickup for him. Still lacking some HP, but getting a lot of really useful items. Big item pickup on EG, though, is definitely the Scythe of Ice on OD. That is going to change ganks a lot for EG, and if they don't get heavy on movement around the map and trying to set up those ganks, I'd be very surprised.
And EG now have the reliable disables here, right? They've got the Abyssal Blade, the Blink Hex, and you've got the Blink Burrow Strike. Faceless do have a good setup spell in the Blink Lift, but do they have the follow-up? Well, it's going to be a little tougher for them in the upcoming fights.
And a very similar situation coming from Jabs. He's only about 400 away from finishing his Hex. Big difference, though, is he gets to rearm that and cast it multiple times in a team fight. So I think this game's very even in a lot of ways.
It's really tough for EG, right? Like, who do you focus the Tinker? If not, you're getting chain hexed. Do you focus XY? If not, he's got an Ags and could just go nuts.
Yeah. If you don't go on Ice, he's going to jump on your backline and blow up either Caudle or IO almost instantly. Similar with Black, always aiming for the supports that are easy to kill.
It's getting tougher and tougher for EG to find those easy kills, but same time, their damage continues to ramp up to meet the task. Butterfly now complete on Arteezy. Getting close to finished farming anti-mage status.
Yeah, killing him is very difficult now, and just moving around the map rapidly is even easier for him. It's pretty much all down to Timbersaw damage-wise and Black, I guess. I mean, they're so diversified. It's great. They have multiple types of... they got pure damage from Tinker and Magic. From Black, they've got massive physical. From Ice, they have tons of pure. There's not really an easy way for them to build against it other than going for like a BKB on Anti-Mage. Not something you ever really want to do. You'd rather grab a higher value item.
Especially since you have an IO, and one of the ways you might expect to get out of a gank is the relocate save. So KB could be a double-edged sword. Indeed.
I just feel like the hero picks that EG went for here with the Caudle, especially, it was meant to be against the Timbersaw thing, but the lane net setup never really did that, and because of that, Faceless got off to a good start, and now they're kind of stuck with the Caudle and what he does, which is really split push, anti-push, stuff like that. It's useful, but it's not helping them get kills in the mid-game like they needed.
Arteezy is on the warpath into the trees. XY blinking out. Nuts is trapped there. They've already lost their Tinker, but he's coming right back onto the catapult. He blinks to the north. Suddenly, he's the one who might be in a bit too far. They are on a mission to hunt, but Crit also TPing away. Anti-Mage scrambling north, wants to cut the waves again, and you can see EG more and more just spreading the map, pushing the lanes in, and if they go for fights, they're very surgical ganks. They're not trying to take these head-on team fights much any longer.
I love how they're doing this. He just shows up briefly mid, already starts the recall, kills one creep wave to prevent any more pushing there, and just gone. Off to farm again.
They know how scary it is to fight into Fatal Bonds, the Tinker nukes with the Ags, the AoE damage the Timbersaw brings. Not worth the risk, it seems.
Might as well just farm as many heroes as possible, grab more items. I mean, Arteezy's still out farming everybody.
But Faceless, it's been back and forth, but they do hold a very minimal advantage.
I'm still a little unsure about Jabs' farm rate. He's still pretty far behind. It took him a while to finish the Ag or the Scythe. Great item, but
top lane. Blink Burrow onto Ice to start things off. They're going to mono-leak him, and while that was happening, Nuts got assassinated. They got some deep wards in the woods.
Yeah, easy kill with the Hex there. They're going to try to grab Ice as well. Oh, Skeen, okay, they'll stop that.
And they're at least going to chafe him a little bit. They go for the banish. Universe getting into position here. Doesn't quite have the Burrow Strike range. The nuke damage from Sumail with the orbs heavy. And meanwhile, an assassination on the mid lane is Arteezy able to bring down Black's Weaver. Jabs into the trees. Doesn't have the range for the Hex.
One of those
Arteezy's out of there.
Where you wish you had a Linken's on Weaver instead of a BKB. So if he blinks on you from darkness and drops the Abyssal, it's over. And just a couple big kills there for Faceless.
EG want to end this game real soon. They buy the BKB on the Anti-Mage. Arteezy, no TP, doesn't think he's going to need it, and now they make the jump on Ice in the mid lane. They pop that Aegis. Do they stick around for round 2? That's the big question with Jabs here, laying down the march. He'll blink out immediately. And they do steal something here for the Rubik, just the Chakra Magic. It's pretty good against AM, I guess, in theory, to counter the Mono Void. Yeah, not the Dream spell.
Maybe there's got to be something else you can cycle with it, like Ice double Chakram or something. Could really help with Tinker, actually increases mana pool, more spells. But really they're gonna go back in.
Big leap forward, Arteezy. He has a BKB, didn't even need to use it there. Got up the Abyssal Snipe, brains down Nuts on the Warlock. Now Sumail chasing forward. There's a Glimmer Cape though to keep XY alive. They re-engage. They have the stolen Anti-Mage blink. XY leaping forward. He's gonna steal it again. EG starting to find pickoff after pickoff now.
Faceless really needs some Force Staffs or something, because whenever somebody gets hexed, it's just an indefensible hero for a couple seconds.
Yeah, all they have is the Glimmer Cape, and if EG have detection, even that won't amount to much.
So all their heroes fairly vulnerable, have great damage, but now not as survivable as they'd like.
Oh, Arteezy. Did he get a glimpse of that TP? He wants to make a go in this bottom lane, perhaps.
There's many heroes here, though.
He's going to see Ice. XY's there. They're playing whack-a-mole in the jungle, but Universe could be the trump card. Blinks in with the stun onto XY. But meanwhile, using the Glimmer Cape, he's able to dodge the incoming damage. BKB committed, but not getting too many auto techs off. But he sees XY. He gets the bash. He gets the kill. And with that, on to Black. They'll fight him as well. It's 2. The fight's snowballing out of control. They might need to buy back here. They've dropped the rock. They're committing for this, but Arteezy just not being dealt with. Continues to maul Ice out of mana. And now the OG Hammer coming down, blinking up and away. Again, the 2-hero burrow. Where's the buyback for Black? He's not opting to use it. Their team's getting massacred. 4 fall, and they commit the rock. It's basically all 5 heroes dead, with Warlock just a walking fatal bonds at this point. Finally, Tinker buys back, but the damage already done.
Yeah, they got pretty much everything they wanted in that fight, and it was always a can Faceless stay alive for a couple seconds, regroup, and go back in, and they never got the chance to fully regroup there. Just the pressure continued, and again, another big disable hitting Weaver. He wasn't able to get his BKB off in time. It might have been a burrow strike into a hex, something like that, but...
And it's where, like you said earlier, like great Linken's game, if he has a Linken's, it's guaranteed to block one of those disables. Maybe he lives, but...
With that said, though, there's a lot of Force Staffs flying around lately. They could just blink Hurricane Pike into a disable as well, so... these guys are good enough to break that almost instantly, so Black just needs to get his BKB off in time, otherwise we're seeing almost no impact from him this late in the game.
Alright, so now the Linken's picked up for Sumail. BKB Linken's, kind of an old school Pinoy build here. Super defensive.
Very good. We'll stop Hexes is the big one, really. Yule Scepters, I guess, Rubik Lift. A lot of great spells that they can stop with that. Fatal Bonds would be incredible too, if you can block that one.
EG getting to critical mass. They're almost done farming here on the OD and the anti-mates. The rest of the lineup doesn't really scale that much better, so it feels like they're on the clock to try and end this game, Kevin. Or at least their ideal timing window is now.
Yeah, it's definitely very soon. So Face is going to have to start playing really defensive, and this is where, you know, EG is going to keep getting some farm. Not so much on anti-mage's side. He's just about maxed out. Just 6,000 gold, and he's got pretty much nothing else that he can't buy. And then from there, just Sumail finishing out an item or two, and the supports can always grab more. Especially Zai will be happy with some downtime.
Arteezy with the DD rune. This is going to be a quick kill if XY gets caught. Does manage to plant that obs. By the way, I don't think we've seen a single gem yet. We're now 44 minutes in. This universe will get picked off, but it's pretty unusual to see a game go this late and no one grab a gem.
You know what I think it is that Black's just been getting chain stunned. Like, he's the one invis here, with the exception of something like the Glimmer Cape has been useful on Rubik, but...
I just mean for dewarding, honestly.
But even then, does it... They're not trying to fight, right? Vision is important for a little bit of split pushing, but the movement of EG has been, you know, just a ward here or there, know where they are. You don't really need to break their vision of you, I feel.
Yeah, they certainly don't seem scared. You can see Sumail prowling around Invis, hoping for pickoffs. Go back to farming that mid lane.
And always crit close behind in case he needs to save somebody. It's the big difference between the two lineups is that whenever somebody on Faceless gets initiated on, they kind of just die, usually. No backups there with Force Staffs or whatever.
Easy. Closing in on Moonshard and buyback money. He wants it.
What do you think Black's going to get here? Another damage item? Is it too crazy to say get Ags here?
Ags could be good. What else? Butterfly, maybe?
Or Linken's. Be about time for that one.
Yeah, even a late Linken's. I mean,
yeah,
the Abyssal Blade and the Mana Void are the main ways he's dying. Maybe a Hex or Burrow.
Yeah,
like, blocking any of those spells is huge.
Yeah, I think this is completely reasonable. Maybe sell Dragonlance next, or maybe upgrade it too, actually. Couldn't be too terrible.
Bottom lane making their move here. They're going to try to isolate Zai, but he has a Glimmer Cape. The Faceless have detection because the reinforcements are coming in. They bring down XY, and now they get the bash from Ice. That's going to be 2 dead. He will suicide. Didn't even get the Mana Void off, but that also means it's going to be ready for this next fight.
Yeah, and they may have to buy back if they continue this push. At the least, it should be a dead tier 2.
Maybe hoping for Roche. It could be up momentarily. In fact, I think would be up before the Timbersaw respawns. Only 30 seconds until the Roche is up. They're going to take the tier 2 bottom, like you said, and don't see Faceless as of yet contesting. They seem to want to hold the high ground.
I like Timbersaw's build a lot, but I think he needed to go for a Lotus Orb instead of a Linken's here. That might have been better. Black showing off his newly minted Linken's. Pretty happy with that one, I'm sure.
Arteezy showing off his Battle Fury. Dropping it at the tower. A little celebration.
Pretty soon.
Ice style drop there.
He's going to have an Aegis, so I mean...
Yeah. And he's already eaten a Moon Shard, by the way, up to another 4k gold. So this is a fully 7-slotted anti-mage in his prime. Really doesn't get any bigger than this.
If he's going to do the right thing, it's going to be buy all the observers, all the TP scrolls, all of the sentry wards, all the smokes.
I can hear that, like, slightly
I mean, it's
salty support player.
It's
like,
been
in you, Kevin.
Do they need 8,000 gold LD? They don't, okay? This isn't an
think of the
game,
memes, Kevin.
That's
memes.
true, the memes
Did
are...
you see Mushi at TI3 when he bought like 5 BKBs?
The memes are important, but my point is that he's not an alchemist. It's been a while, I feel like, since we've seen a ultra 6-slotted hero that can't buy anything else. It's always been buy Ags, buy Ags, buy Ags. But this is an anti-mage, man. This guy can't get anything else for his personal benefit other than buyback money. It's time to help the supports get items, and that's one small way that you can help.
No excuses, Artur. I want to hear it from you.
Observer wards are bust.
Well, for now, he's probably just wishing he could buy another item slot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he could carry those boots. Using the butterfly to just phase around the enemy jungle a bit faster. He does ping out this top lane. They've even got a lane ward. Ice, ice, ice. Oh, he's lucky. Almost gets caught there by Arteezy. Does have his observer ward on the high ground to scout that out.
I mean, I'm just looking at Timber here, and he's so vulnerable. He's got tons of HP, and he's got tons of offense, but if he gets stunned and Anti-Mage is there, he's just going to get blown up.
Well, speaking of that Anti-Mage, taking good chakram damage to get up the lift to try and lock him down a bit further. He will be banished now, resetting the fight a little. The BKB and the Aegis spell, but they're going to hex him. Can they chain it, though? The link is there, and that will interrupt and allow for the reset. And with the IO, if you don't actually kill him, he's going to be right back to full health.
Yeah, no kidding.
By the way, they also have a cheese on the IO, so keep in mind that the tethered cheese play could come out.
And the Caudal Illuminate as well, giving him a ton of health every couple seconds.
Ags has been completed for good old Gandalf and Arteezy. Moving in, he gets lifted. They try to focus the backlines, but Sumail has a BKB. You can't focus him either. They drop the rock, but it's a banished banished hero for now that they can't bring down. Crit survives through it. Good play on the backlines. Arteezy going hard. He's already brought down the Tinker. He's now going to look for Nuts as well. Nuts down in the fountain. Even without boots, he just marches inexorably forward. The anti-mage is happening, and they just don't seem to have the answers.
The game looked so much better for Faceless here, and their mid game looked great, but just a couple too many pickoffs in the late game. Their heroes weren't as strong, and the Hex pickup just guaranteed so many kills. And it looks like that's going to be it for Faceless. They got one hero left, it's Black, but he's by himself. I do not see him stopping 5 heroes.
He's going to try one bold last stand for the Little Weaver.
It'll
the
work.
Bug that could. Come on, Black, we believe in you, baby. But he gets stunned. He almost gets focused, able to Sakuchi away. Arteezy says, fine, I'll kill your throne then instead. But the laser's going to slow this down. They will Astral. One last hurrah as the Hex comes out. The celebratory do-do-do. Faceless have been eliminated. Not from the tournament, but from contention for that top 2 spot.
Yeah, so that guaranteed that the EG does not get 4th seed. That's going to be left to Faceless. A little surprising. Some people thought that they were going to do quite well at this tournament, but played at the Summit, had some inconsistent results, won some games, but lost all series. And I think this is the EG that we're expecting to see.